This video is going to be very like this video. It's all about me leaving the house, but it's not going to be this video, which was about scenes. Link up there. Get confused with my hands. It's going to be more about these two. So I need to update things because of these. You have Bark a Lot and Bark Even More. Sorry, Luna and Freddy. And you probably heard them in most of my videos making this noise and this noise, even though I tell them to be quiet. I've been told that they need, when we go out, they need music playing, and when it gets dark, they need lights to come on. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's roll the credits and make music and lights. So I'm going to have to use automations for this, much as I don't want to. So I've gone settings, automations and scenes, and then into automations. I'm going to create an automation. I'm going to create a new automation, and I'm not going to bother with the trigger to now. We'll come back to that. So we're going to add an action, and we are going to media play. We're going to play the dog's music to start off with, and it is going to be the computer room, and I need to go into YAML, I'm afraid. So edit in YAML, and I need to add in, in fact, do I need to? Because I want to add data and target, which I obviously can't see here, and I'm afraid I need to go into YAML to make it play, which is a bit annoying. Edit in YAML, and I need to put some things in here, and I've got, because I save stuff like this. So my data is, I'm going to play Dragon Radio using TuneIn. My target is Media Player Lounge, which is actually that one there. This is the old one. And I want to play the media. So I press save, and we're going to call it Play Radio. Save. We'll give a quick test to make sure it's working.
Welcome to TuneIn.
Have you heard? Sky, Netflix and Discovery Plus are now just £15 a month.
Okay, so we have that working. So I can leave that there. The next thing I want to do is create an automation that switches on what's called table lamp. So new automation, I'm going to miss out a trigger. I'm going to add a new trigger, and it is a light, and I want to turn on the light, and its device is table light, and I won't put it fully on. We'll put it at 40%, so it's kind of down a bit. And click save. Turn on table light. Save. So I've got those two. Okay, and we'll just run this one just to make sure. And as you can see, it's come on. So we want these to run at particular times. And the particular times we want it to run is when we're out, we want the radio to play kind of all the time. And when it gets dark, we want the table light to turn on. So those are the tasks we want to do. Right, so we want it when we are going to be not here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a helper. So we do that by going back to settings, devices and services, and helpers. And I'm going to create helper, and it is going to be a toggle. And we are out. Is there an out thing? Let's say clock out. Okay, and I'm going to create that. So what we can do is I can make sure that that is exposed to Alexa. Say update. So that has gone to Alexa now. What I can then do is go back to our scene, so back to settings, back to automations and scenes, click scenes, and going out. I'm going to live edit, and I'm going to add we are out. And that will be on. So we've got a helper that will get switched on when the scene's activated. I daren't activate this scene now because I haven't checked whether someone's watching the telly, but I'm reasonably happy. So let's go back to the automations. So let's just make sure we're going to add a trigger. We're going to see when the entity state of we are out goes from off to on. Let's say no, we don't need to give a time to it. So we click save. So when we are out goes from off to on, it should start playing music. So let's go back to this screen, and I'm going to start a new screen. So I'll click on settings and say open in a new tab. Okay, I'm going to go straight to devices and services. I'm going to go straight to helper. I've got we are out, and I'll switch it on.
Welcome to TuneIn.
Alexa, stop. So that's worked. So that's the first one done. Now for the other script, I need to do some more things here. Now the thing I'll say is we'll never leave the dogs in overnight. It'll only be kind of late evening that we'll come back to them. So automations and scenes, turn on right. So we need to add a trigger here that says time and location, and we're going to say sun. So at sunset, and I'm going to say an hour before, so that's going to be 1:0:0, hopefully. So that's an hour before sunset. So it'll only action an hour before sunset. And if the entity we state we are out is on, and click save. So an hour before sunset, as long as we are out is on, then do switch table lamp on. Okay, so that's the positive side of this. I now need to do when we come back in the door. So the things we're going to need to change, the table light being on, I don't think I could need to switch that off, because it'd probably be useful when you come into the house having the light being on. I don't want it to switch off the minute I'm going to get in the house, but it'll be annoying if the radio is going to play. So let's go and edit play radio. So I've got when we are out, changes from off to on, do this. So what I need to do is I need to edit the ID. So the trigger ID is going to be out. Okay, and then I'm going to add another trigger, and it's going to be an entity change again. State of entity is going to be we are out, and this time it goes from on to off. Okay, I'm going to need to add an ID, and we'll call that one in. So we've got in and out. Okay, I'm just going to press save to get that done. So I've got this. I'm going to need to add some building block actions. So I'm going to could do either, but let's do choose. Oh, I'm going to add an option. I'm going to add a condition, and I'm going to say triggered by out. Right, I'm going to press save because I'm lazy, because I want this. So I'll cut that. I'll then go, if we're going out, I want to add an action, and I want to paste my action. So let's just copy that in. I'm going to press save again. So now for option 1, I'm going to add a condition. Triggered by in, and the action is going to be, is there a stop? Media player stop. And I want to choose device, computer room, and that's all I need to do. So to run through this, I've now got 2 triggers. When we go out and activate the scene, it'll switch we are out to on, and it makes a trigger of out. And when we come back in again and I say Alexa, switch we are out off, it'll have a trigger ID of in. So on in, I stop it playing, and on out, I play Dragon Radio. It's that simple. Okay, we're all set up there. I'll now show you a quick test. Alexa, switch on going out scene.
Welcome to TuneIn.
A game you won't want to miss. It's our final WSL match of the season. Arsenal women versus Manchester United. Come on, Gooners. Join us and get behind the team for this season finale. Arsenal women v Man United, Emirates Stadium, Saturday, 12th of
Alexa,
May, 12th.
switch off. We are out. Alright, so we have a guest presenter to finish off this video who isn't really interested in sweeties. And she says, thank you for watching. And if you could like and subscribe, that would be great. Look at the camera. And we'll see you on the next one. Unless you're going to watch some of these.